Hey guys, I retired about 2 weeks ago and I went down to the hobby shop and I had to see a couple of these metal earth models and I love them. It's given me something to do, but not just to create the models. I like to create the dioramas. I'm going to show you in my next video a few models that I've made, and okay, my skills are terrible right now. I am absolutely one of the world's worst metal earth builders, and I've only literally just started building the resin bases for them, using the molds. But I didn't know anything about this 2 weeks ago. And it doesn't matter what you or anybody else thinks. The point is, this is for people to do creatively for themselves. And if you like what you're doing, and I like what I'm doing, then that's all that matters. We're keeping safe, we're indoors. And if you're an older person, it's keeping my manual dexterity up, it's keeping my mind focused, and it's problem solving. Why? Because I like to be creative. I don't just make little models, I put them into a mini diorama. Try and give them some kind of dynamic thought. So I try and buy things that could be applied into a diorama. Take this one, Buddhist temple. This is kind of an unusual model. It's all gold plate. Most of them come in just standard silver finish. Some have the occasional bit of gilt on them. This one happens to be all gold. And you can see it's 3 plates. You can see how small it is. This is probably the size. It's about 2.5 inches. And you're going to have to get the correct tools and have a lot of patience and time on your hands in order to put these together. This particular one I really like because it's got a picture on the back. And you can then look this up. I did on the internet, and I produced a couple of pictures from the internet. And this is a real building, because apparently there's some information about in 1885 some of the gilt gold was fading and it had to have major restoration, and today it looks beautiful. And you can see it's actually not all gold. It's part brown here, and at the back it's actually got some white panels. And what I'm going to be doing is trying to faithfully reproduce the pictures of the real building on here, which means that I have to be surface painting some of the surfaces down here. I'll be putting on a surface primer, and then over the surface primer I'm going to be painting the appropriate brown or white colors. So the roof, of course, is all brown. I don't know what the materials are. Maybe shakes, I don't know. And then there's a light brown underneath. There's gold down here, there's white panels, and then there's brown structural supports down here. And what's interesting about this is it's a beautiful potential for a diorama. There's a lake in the front. There's a lot of trees. There's some mini islands. There's several pictures on the internet about this wonderful, wonderful Buddhist temple. And this has some tremendous potential for creative adaptation. It's got the usual instructions down here. So this build is going to take me a few weeks at least. I've got some special materials on order to help you with the diorama to make that happen and to make it real. So I'm looking forward to this build. I've done a video of my little display case, which you can see as well, and I've got a few more metal earth builds which I've got coming up, and several others actually on order. Good old Harry Potter. Love Harry Potter. Now I will show you at the back of most of these metal earth builds, you're going to see a little difficulty level down here. It's kind of a speed gauge, and on this side it's going to be simple. On if the indicator is on the left side where it's red, it's obviously very difficult. This particular one is kind of just in moderate, a little bit below difficult, into the moderate side. It's not dead easy. If you really want dead easy, start with butterflies. Then from butterflies go up to insects, and then from insects you can go on from there. This one is Gate, again another Japanese place, and it's got a little base on it as well. And again, I'm going to look this up on the internet. It's a real building, as you can see on the back, see the surroundings on that, and see if I can reproduce those surroundings. With the good old Ferris wheel. Who loves a good old Ferris wheel? Obviously, quite a complicated little build down here, and a lot of repetitious stuff. But that's going to be fun, and that can be put into a little diorama of a fun fair with some... Ooh, the Titanic. Love the Titanic. I'm going to be really creative with this, because obviously the Titanic sank, as you know, and it actually broke into 2 bits. So I'm going to see if there's a possibility that I can snip this thing in half, which will have to be done as I'm going along, and then have the 2 ends actually sinking. I don't know if that's possible, but again, this is all about problem solving. And if I mess this up and I buy a new one, hell, I'm $11 down. So, and I can try it again. So there are lots of ships out there. There's a lot of warships. There's some cruise ships. So if you start making a series, you can then improve as you go through. Ooh, another little merry-go-round. I'll go with the Ferris wheel. There you go. Again, look at the potential for painting on that. Aren't all these horses brightly painted at the fair? And the tops, there's a lot of potential here for painting. Ooh, this is nice. This is the good old Model T. There's several old cars that you can build. There's a lovely Duesenberg. I want to get that as well. And you can make a nice diorama. You can look at plenty of photographs on the internet, see the kind of settings that some of these are on. This appears to have been pre-painted in these colors. Normally when you see them colored like this, it means they're painted, and they're typically a little bit more expensive. That perhaps I should say etched the appropriate color, but actually physically painted. They're etched the appropriate color, which kind of makes them kind of nice. I like ones that are pre-etched like this. This is the Roman Colosseum, and you can see the pictures of them down here. So I'm going to be doing a lot of that. Again, this one doesn't show the difficulty level. Oh yes, it does. This shows that it's fairly difficult. So this is like 3/4 of the stage. But you look for certain things. If there's something round and cylindrical, that's going to be more difficult than something that's square. Even though it might be more fiddly and small, anything that's square is typically going to be a little easier to do. Because when you curve these things, getting the right curvature around is going to be a little bit more fiddly to do, and sometimes but that's what I got coming up. I've got plenty to do. The builds typically take a day or 2. I don't spend a huge amount of time. I do them a little bit at a time, put it out, and then I spend at least about a week on each diorama to try and make it a little bit more fancy. In particular, I've got more materials coming in order to do wakes and foam and snow and sand and stuff like this. You can buy all this stuff once you get into this. And it'll make your models and your dioramas look a lot better. So it doesn't matter what you do, but when you get to retirement, you need to have something to keep your mind active, keep you interested and focused. And yes, I do trade the Forex markets during the day as well. That keeps me active. There's nothing to keep you better focused than losing money. And it's great when you actually make money and win. So I'm getting my skills up on there, and I'm enjoying that as well. And this is what I do for fun and recreation. I'm not driving, I'm not drinking, I'm here at home. The wife is next door. You know, we're having dinner together, sit down at the table, we're having discussions, and she watches her stuff. I have my own TV, I watch my stuff, and I'm doing my little models, and most importantly, I'm creating something that I can look at and enjoy in the future. So I'm going to see how this turns out. It's going to be a few weeks before I can get this thing done, probably a month, because I've still got materials on order. And I'll let you know how it turns out, and you can take a look. Till then, have some fun, be creative, be safe,